What's the most extreme, slow-burn revenge you've ever seen? When my grandmother died, I found out my mom had forged the will and handed everything over to my brother. My mom was always good at pretending I didn't exist and preferred to dote on my brother instead. He was the one with the basketball trophies and the baby photos lining every wall. I was just the ungrateful one, the one who always asked too many questions. I tried to fight it at first, but my mother shut me down quickly. She called me greedy and dramatic. My brother laughed in my face and told me to move on. So I did, or at least that's what I let them think. From then on, I started showing up for every holiday and every birthday. Always helpful, always friendly. When my brother opened his business using the money from the will, I offered to help with the books. When my mother got sick, I drove her to every appointment and made myself the only one who knew what pills she needed or which bills were overdue. I'd leave little notes on the fridge. I picked up groceries. I helped with my brother's kids. I never complained, and I never brought up the will again. I just let them think I was nothing but grateful. Over time, my brother started leaning on me for everything. He handed over passwords, left me in charge of accounts, and gave me keys to the house. I'd make sure to misplace things every now and then. He'd call in a panic when a payment bounced or a client vanished. I'd promise to fix it, and sometimes I did, and sometimes I didn't. He never caught on. My mother got more fragile every year, and as she did, more of her friends stopped visiting. She would get confused, and I'd tell her everything was fine. But the truth was, I'd cancel her calls and toss her letters. When she was sad, I'd bring her tea and sit beside her and tell her how lucky she was to have us all together. I watched as she got one day closer to death and watched as my brother started drinking. I let him rant about bad luck and unfair banks and how nobody in the family really understood him. He lost friends, lost his business, and lost his second wife. My brother moved back in, and they spent their last month circling each other, both too tired and bitter to talk. The house got quiet, and it felt like waiting out a storm. When my mother died, my brother was left with nothing but debt and an empty house. He sold the place for a fraction of what it was worth. Last I heard, he blamed fate and cursed everyone he knew. I didn't claim a cent. I just walked away. There was no fight, no screaming, nothing to trace. It was just me, a smile, and the memory of every time they called me nothing. I made sure they'd remember it for the rest of their lives.